it'd be an unbelievable feat. It really would, to win all four, eh?
Didn't think we'd ever have this discussion. You know, after Manchester United did the treble in '99, how new clubs have come to the top of the league, become elite football clubs. You look at PSG, you look at Manchester City. I didn't think we'd be having this discussion about one team, especially one of the teams that's come in and kind of smashed the status quo of elite teams, not just in England, but also in Europe. Talking about them doing the quadruple. I think the quality they've shown, the level of consistency, especially after last season and after the way they started this season, to get it together like they have. And you can't discount the amount of the impact that Ruben Dias has had on this side. You know, keeping clean sheets, giving them that stability at the back, the communication skills. And it's no surprise to me the game they lost recently against Leeds, Ruben Dias wasn't playing, because one of the big things for defenders playing in a top team like Manchester City, who keep so much possession, is concentration and always thinking, what if? And Ruben Dias, he organises, he makes sure that any situation that might occur, that they're in great positions to deal with it. He wasn't on the pitch. They lost to an injury time winner against Leeds, and it was no surprise that he wasn't starting. But what an achievement it would be for Manchester City.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it just shows you that it gives everybody hope in the Premier League, Al, because if you get taken over by the right people who really want to invest and try and make the club big, then it can happen. Because Man City, that's what happened to Man City.
Yeah. Trevor, that's a good point, Trev. You've been round it. You know, you're involved in your own academy, but City have put a load of work, and not just money, but a load of work into, the locals,
community,
the local
infrastructure. Yeah. I mean, that area, and excuse me for my language, but it was a dump. You know, it was a right mess before they took over the football club. That's one of the reasons why the Commonwealth Stadium was built in that area anyway, because it was so the infrastructure was poor. It was a really poor part of Manchester. The infrastructure now, with the investment that Sheikh Mansour and the City Group have put into that part of Manchester, I think Manchester as a whole should be very thankful that they took our club.
Trevor, how far from Moss Side is it? I've not been to the new stadium, so how far is it from Main Road?
Yeah. It's a bit of it's like kind of a different area. It's across Manchester. Yeah, it's across Manchester. It's a much different area. But it was in need of massive investment, that area, and obviously Sheikh Mansour's gone in at the football club. They've invested on the pitch, they've invested in the community, they've invested in the infrastructure of the actual city itself, the roads, the buildings. It's a completely different area, and it's just on from parts of Manchester that were getting developed, and it's extended the size of Manchester now, and it's a massive thing that they've done for the city.
And the academy, Trev, is that really really good at the moment for City? Like people coming, is there more Phil Foden's coming through?
Yeah, there's a lot of players coming through. You see the results that the 18s are getting. You see the results that the under 21, 23s are getting. They're strong throughout, and it's going to be one of them where players need to continue to go out on loan, because the difference between playing under 23 football or under 21 football and the first team, it's too big. The gap is too big, so the loan system's going to have to be implemented, and it's going to have to be worked well. They'll probably end up selling a lot of players to
where are they coming from, Trevor? Are they locals, or are they coming from all over Europe?
All over the world, yeah. And this is something that I think, one good thing that could come out of Brexit is if players at a young age are not allowed to come across to England and be part of academies unless they're homegrown, unless they're born in the country. So hopefully that rule will come in, and it'll give more opportunity to our own boys coming through from our own communities.
So people like, for instance, Fabregas, he came over, didn't he?
He came over.
That wouldn't be allowed.
Went for the youth team system,
Yeah, exactly. That I don't think you'll be able to cross borders from Europe into England now in the future, unless you're an international. I think you've got to be an international. So if you're an international, then you're bringing something to the table.
Trev, Sterling at the moment, obviously he's going through that indifferent spell. I know you had a little bottle, I think you had a little bet with Simon Jordan, didn't you? I hope you're saving some money.
It's cost me a few quid.
I don't know what I was listening to the show, and I remember what wine was it again he wanted? Alan probably would know.
He sent me a picture of it. He sent me a photo.
Red or white?
I can't get that. I think when we discussed it on the show, I thought it was a red, but actually the images come through and it looks like a white. But I've got a friend. I've got a friend who's a wine expert, and she sells wine, so I'll be trying to get a discount rate off her. You're
a little bit concerned with Sterling. Do you think that England is definitely going to be the England squad, and starting, or do you think there's a little bit of a dilemma now with Gareth?
No, I don't think. I think he's going to be in the England squad. I think he carries a threat that some of the other players that are contending for that position or them positions across the front 3 or 4 haven't got, and that's raw pace. So I think if you're when you're talking about international football, if teams press you really well, one thing that will stop them really committing to that press is if you've got pace over the top. Now I think Raheem brings that. You know, we've looked at games in the past for England where he's been brought off the pitch and all of a sudden they're all over us. They press the life out of us. When he's on the pitch, there's a bit of fear factor. So I think he'll be in the England squad for that one reason. But you look at his form, you can't have top form if you're not playing. So he's not played a lot of games. I think he's played started 4 out of the last 11 games. He's just parted with his agent, AD Ward. He's just set up his own agency, which is a company called 1692, where he's made his mum, Nadine Clark, the intermediary for that company. There's a lot going on off the pitch with Raheem at the moment, but, you know, we've heard managers say it before. Brendan Rodgers has said it. I think Pep said it. He is a workhorse. He'll go back to the training ground. He'll work his socks off. He'll get himself back in that side. And I think he's got the quality to get over this little blip in his form.
A strange old name for that, 1692. Is there a reason behind that?
I'm not sure. I've not looked into it yet.
I think McCloyce has got his own one, 1690, and he'll know what I'm talking about. But 1692, that's a strange one.
Yeah, there'll be a story behind it. But if we get a chance to interview him, I'm sure we'll ask him, and hopefully he'll give us the answer.